anyway, yeah, speaking, like I was saying on Coachella, like I just think it's always interesting, like to see these lineups like that when there's a bunch of artists that have nothing to do with each other, just like this Rod Wave and Ari Lennox situation.
Chile.
Right. First of all, when that tour art dropped, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why is Ari Lennox on tour with Rod Wave?
And
like
she
they
just
both
finished her tour.
Yeah, the ASL tour, right?
Yeah, she just
so I'm
finished
like,
her tour.
Which sold out a lot of days.
Yeah, like 60,000 tickets or something they were talking about on that live. So
she should have been in bigger venues.
Yeah, and they both make amazing music, but however, I don't think they have the same fan base at all. And it was interesting to see that live because at the beginning of it, she's talking about how she used to ask her agent to like let her open for Red Hot Chili Peppers. And her agent
when you say that live, you mean
the Ari Lennox live where Ari Lennox went on live and on Instagram live after, I guess she was fed up with her day. She had got pulled over by the police and she was just fed up with all the stuff that was going on Instagram because she's back on social media. So when she's in this live, she's talking about, you know, how she used to ask her manager if she could possibly get her a deal to open up for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And her agent is like, no, that doesn't make any sense. So when her agent comes to her with this deal saying, you can open for Rod Wave, why is it not the same? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, just because it's a black artist, that means it makes sense. Like, that's where my head was like a toss up with it. Because there's nowhere... If your agent is telling you it wouldn't make sense for Red Hot Chili Peppers, why would it make sense for Rod Wave? Yeah, that was my question number one.
Yeah.
Okay. When you that was not after seeing her speak about it. That was just when you saw.
Just when
you saw the
when
tour
I saw
artwork,
the tour art, I was already confused. And
like,
then I saw her speak about it. I'm like, okay, so she has asked her agent to play for these different genres, but they told her it makes sense. So why are they not, you know, letting her?
What were your thoughts when we see every R&B tour that goes out?
I feel like
and
we were in the office.
Yeah.
And you were like, Ari's going to open for Rod Wave.
Oh, yeah, I probably came out of my office and was like, well, you see this?
Because you're a Rod Wave fan, for real, right?
Huge Rod Wave. Huge Ari Lennox fan.
Same.
Both.
I love Ari.
Yeah.
And I thought he was trolling at first. He popped out of the office and was like, Ari's about to open for Rod Wave on his arena tour. And I'm like, okay.
Which is amazing.
What? I mean, yes, amazing opportunity, but it immediately didn't make sense to me.
Right.
Why is she opening? Like that's
like Keisha Cole opening for 50 Cent.
That low key,
but it doesn't make sense though.
That would make sense more than Ari and Rod Wave.
I think there's a lot.
If I really think about it, 50 Cent and Keisha Cole.
I don't know. That's like a
example.
festival type of.
Okay,
you know.
Yeah, maybe.
I think there's a few things that were probably going through fans' minds when they saw that, right? And the one is. Like Ari fans, it's not even about like, let's break it down. It's not just about the genres still being R&B, but the type of music being so different.
Right.
I think it's about the and even not even just the energy. I think it's about, I think from a fan's perspective, a Ari fan, right? It's like you are a lot more established and have been in this game a lot longer and have a cult following and support and fan base,
right? That
to open for a relatively new artist, no matter the size, right?
Right.
It's like that's like, whoa, that's jarring to a fan, right? It's like regardless somebody who's been in the game for I would say Ari like going on a decade.
Yeah,
right.
It's been like what since 2014.
2014 around, yeah, something like that. So, and Rod, while he's put in a lot of work. He's dropped 4 platinum albums now.
Crazy. He has a cult like
and he's kind of hit in the pandemic, and then now but it's still he's still a much newer artist, and I think that when people see this kind of things, especially from your fan base, I think that they're first asking the question why, right? And then
immediately,
it's a lot more information out there. People know why people go on tour, and people know that. The live events and concerts are the bulk of the way that artists make their money, and
you want to gain other people's fans.
And boom, that's what I was gonna say. So I think fans don't really think about that part of it.
The business side of it.
Yeah, we know that, but I think now you take I'm trying to gain other people's fans, and it's a great opportunity. The money's there. But after watching her live, her on Instagram live, I was like, at first I was just like, this is crazy to me. Like, this is a bad management decision. Like, you know, I didn't think it would. But after seeing her speak about it and her take on why she felt, you know, violated and disrespected, and you know, she even was mentioning that other things might have been happening on the tour.
Yeah,
the wardrobe getting stolen.
We didn't know about. I'm like, wow, this is not crazy. I mean, where's the protection for this black woman? No, for real.
The thing that really,
and I feel like she's already such a sensitive soul, like already such a sensitive, sweet soul.
The thing that I connected with and had a lot of empathy for was just like the lack of respect that people have.
Yes, same.
Or another person doing their job, performing like this.
It's art. You know, it's their art.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've gone through that on, you know, numerous occasions. But it's like you gotta kind of brush it off and you know, work through it. Every performer has gone through this, but it's like to come to a show, to pay money to a show, to then fight in the crowd with somebody.
Yeah.
Throw something at the performer on stage. Like, it's just, you have to, like, how bad is your life?
Yeah, there's some deeper stuff going on because you bought a ticket.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like,
to do this, to
just get ejected from the show, right? Like,
before you even see the person who you want to see.
So
that's the crazy part.
It's crazy, and I do feel for her. What I'll say is, which is my camera right here, Ari Lennox, if you want to come and perform somewhere where the crowd loves you and where you're gonna, as soon as you hit that stage at one of our festivals, it's gonna erupt. And if you want to see, you know, 8,000, 9,000 people who know your music word for word, bar for bar,
literally,
you know, I got a bag for you over here. Yeah. So
waiting,
come on over. R&B only.
He ain't lying either, Ari. Okay,
you know, so
I knew about you at Howard. I tried to get in contact, but we gonna do it here. Okay.
Yeah. So
but
please,
I did feel for her though. Exactly what you're saying, like, because we've been through that same thing on stage. Like when she was saying, like, people are holding up their phones talking about necks.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that's why she went off when you guys threw a water bottle, because we've had this discussion.
It was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, because I
was at the show.
We've had this. You were.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was at the show where she went off.
You know what's crazy?
My girl recorded it, and one of the videos that went viral is one that we put up.
Immediately went viral.
I think we put up the first content of it.
Wow.
You know, so yeah.
That's probably the video that I saw on TikTok, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah,
what's even crazier is we talked about what would we do if somebody, like, if we ever have a disruptive crowd like that.
Yeah.
And like if they throw stuff on the stage. And I feel like after watching the live, because at first I was like, oh, I wouldn't have reacted like that.
Yeah.
But after watching the live and knowing that you've been going through stuff every single show after show after show, this crowd don't know what you're dealing with. And then on top of that, whoever the sound people is cut her mic. I'm the one performing. Like, I can understand why they cut the mic.
They cut her mic.
But I also understand. Right. You get what I'm saying? I understand both sides of it.
You might have wanted to send a thank you letter to the person who, because you could have said something
that's
what I was taking it to a whole nother level.
That's what I'm like. I can see both sides. And I'm like, when you're mad, it's like, don't cut my mic off, because it's like, I'm the one performing and they messed it. But on the same side, it's like, I'm performing. I don't want to. Thank you for cutting my mic, because I'm glad I could have said something.
Artists really hate when you cut their mic. You know, Erykah Badu was at one of our festivals.
That's very disrespectful to cut somebody's mic. Like, you have to think, this is somebody's art that they're putting their long, hard time, blood, sweat, and tears, and then you're performing and you cut somebody's mic.
That's slapping your hand up.
That's the most disrespectful thing you can do, especially if you've already told somebody that they can go up there. Now I get the Ari situation, because you're disrespecting fans who've paid, and that it's hard.
Yeah. On the flip side, as the festival producer, you know, and as a show producer, like, a story is one time we had Erykah Badu headline one of our festivals.
Yeah.
And the festival was running over.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, the penalty and the fee for it running over was $1,000 every minute it went over.
Right.
We got to about 60 minutes over. And every minute, could you imagine? Every minute I'm looking at Erykah Badu performing, and I'm like,
1,000.
1,000.
2,000.
2,000. 3,000. And it's like, the show already wasn't making money. So now it's like, it's just Oh man, I was almost in tears watching her perform. Not because it was a great performance. It was a great performance.
It was phenomenal.
But yeah,
she had the lasers and shit. It was great.
At one time, at a certain point, I think it was me and her production manager and one of the people from Live Nation, and we were all communicating on radio. And then like I got the go ahead to just like if she gets to this point, and this was from her guy, it was like we can cut the mic, and then we cut the mic, and then she cursed.
I'm a curse too. You cut my mic, you gonna feel
She cursed the whole brand and company out, and this is on YouTube. You guys can look at it, but
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, she says,
"Fuck y'all, I'm out. Love and peace."
Yeah, she said something like it was like
exactly that.
It was like, and
you can look it up.
And what
I'll never forget.
She was like, and thank you, talking to the fans.
Yeah, to the fans, the crowd,
and to y'all who put this shit on.
Peace, love.
Fuck you.
I'm out here. Peace and love.
Yeah, I'm out here. Peace and love. And but then she was really nice and sweet to me afterwards. So
R&B only.